I went to redoing my little gun wall here, and some things were supposed to get delivered today for it, and they are still not delivered, so I'm going on a little ride. But someone had brought up in my comments that I should consider doing a little bit more motorcycle stuff on my gun channel. So I decided, I was like, you know what, I will. So I'm not going to make this just random moto vlogs, though. I'm definitely, because I have a bike channel for that. But I am going to discuss gun topics while I'm out riding. So that's what we're going to do. And it's going to start off with a specific purpose, but it's going to mold into just kind of like a recap of what I'm currently working on. So the topic is going to be about Glock, and if Glock is really the best option for firearms. Now, I know a lot of different states are starting to jump on the bandwagon like California did and trying to ban Glock. Now, I'm going to start by saying I like Glocks. I'm not against Glock by any means. However, for a long time, Glock, if you wanted to get something that you just knew was going to be reliable, you just knew out of the box you could run it, Glock was the option. That's what everybody got. And for a long time, even when I first started getting into firearms, people still felt that way. Because like in 1982, they came out with the Glock 17. And to this day, the Glock 17 is still a very beloved firearm. And people absolutely still run the Glock 17. It was never fully adapted into our military. We didn't, I think it was I forget, it's like something that started with a P or something like that. Military ran the Glock 17, but we never actually had a contract that ran the Glock 17. It didn't stop us from utilizing it though. Even though we didn't have a contract, we definitely still used it. There's still a lot of people that are like, you know, if you want a reliable firearm, you need to get a Glock. Times have changed a little bit. And there are some really, a lot of the other manufacturers have gotten to where they are just as reliable. I know some people don't want to accept that. Even I had a lot of bias at one point in time, even though I've been all over the place. I was all over the place solely because I like making videos and doing reviews, though. For a long time, my 43X, that was my baby. Like, I'd pick up other things, like I picked up the G3C and the P365 and stuff, and I did start carrying the P365, but for a long time, the 43X just was my carry. Like, that was what I was comfortable with. That's what I shot the best. And it was because that's what I used. I know a lot of people also don't like the grip angle of Glocks. A lot of people get used to Glocks. Like, Glocks just become, and like people train with, and that's where, like, I think even for like police and stuff, whenever they go into law enforcement training school, whatever it is, they if I'm not mistaken, they were training with Glocks. But Glock was, in my opinion, they were the best striker fired carry firearm for a handgun. They were like the ones that set the motion for the reliability and setting a standard. They quit adapting for a while everybody else was. Like, the MOS came late. A lot of other manufacturers started doing optics, and for Glock for a long time you had to get like a dovetail adapter, send it off to go get it milled. It just didn't come like that, and that was, they were behind. There was other companies that did it first. Then even their capacity, if they're coming out with a 15-round magazine for the 43X now, but shoot, they knew that they needed to do that 6 years ago. Like, the Shield Arms did it, and those were going off the shelf because that's what people wanted. And so, like, the data was there, and they didn't do nothing with it. They just kind of were like, all right, whatever. Well, now this isn't a Glock hating video. I absolutely like the brand, and even though I don't typically carry a Glock now, it doesn't mean I wouldn't. I've actually been considering, because I don't have that 43X I used to have. I hope the ambulance is turning off. I've been thinking about picking up another 43X. I still have one I can use, so I did pre-order that mag. And oh, heck yeah, I love it. I love getting behind minivans. At least it's not a Prius, okay? Something about getting behind a Prius, and this isn't hate on Prius owners. It's not every Prius, but it's always a Prius. Kind of like it's not every pit bull, but it's always a pit bull. You know, that whole joke thing. Ha ha ha. Maybe it's not that funny. But yeah, it's like anytime I get stuck behind somebody who's super slow, or there's a big line of cars and I'm like, man, what's going on? There's always a Prius leading the pack. And let me know in the comments below, do you like these motorcycle topic videos? Because I definitely can do this more. I plan on trying to ride a little bit more now that it's getting nicer out, and for a while it just got so cold I didn't know what to do. And I do have a motorcycle only channel if you're interested in checking that out. It's Ride with Cola. Because my firearm channel used to be Shots with Cola. It still exists. I'm just currently locked out of it, and I am going to focus on this particular channel. But I do have a motorcycle only channel called Ride with Cola, and I am going to be doing track and stuff this year for those that are interested in seeing it. But yeah, so this isn't me bashing on Glock, but they aren't a trendsetter anymore. They've stuck with that mentality. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But it's gotten to the point where other people have kind of surpassed them with innovation. And it sucks because they are a really good gun. It's a really good firearm. Very reliable, except for I think there has been some Gen 6 issues that have risen up, but I haven't personally dealt with them. I mean, I've only got a V, I don't have a 6, but I'm not sure how much differences are with the V and the 6. But I definitely think that they could do a little bit of hiring somebody for innovation that just kind of trails what's popular in the moment and stuff. And they are doing, you know, a little bit more right now. So they launched, they're coming out with that 15 round 43X mag. They're coming out with a 15 round Glock 44, which is their 22 LR. They're launching OEM 15 round mag for that. And they are coming out with a light. Now, the light is just a 600 lumen little tiny light. However, it's large for 600 lumens. Like if you look at what the TRL7 sub or the Olight PL Mini 2, TRL7 sub is probably a little bit, I think, bigger. I haven't personally had hands on one, so I can't speak on that one, but it definitely is bigger than like the PL Mini 2. And you know, you're pretty close to lumens. I mean, I know that they struggle to rate them 100%, like be accurate to a T, but in that ballpark range. And the Glock, I mean, it definitely, it looks like a Glock. It matches the polymer that's on the handgun. It's got the same slide serrations. It's got serrations on it that match that. I don't know why you would need those, because you're not going to be pulling from your light, but maybe there's a reason that I don't know, and you can definitely let me know in the comments below. It definitely, it comes in at a higher price tag than Olight, but not Streamlight, so you got to keep in mind that the speed's not that high through here. But yeah, so they are doing more with innovation. They are trying to be relevant. They did come out with some sort of AR. I don't know anything about it. I just know that there was a Glock AR and some area was trying to adapt it into their military
and I don't think it ever hit the market because it's definitely not on their product page on their website. But at this point, they're all caught up, so they're not behind at this point. They finally did that little bit that they needed to do on catching up. Now, they have not came out with their own optic, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It took SIG a while to come out with an optic that really compared with other things, and it's comes with a hefty tag on it. Like the Romeo Zero and stuff was a good optic. I'm not saying it wasn't. I carried a Romeo Zero and never had an issue with zeroing or anything. But when you're talking about durable or stuff like that, they didn't really have like... They did start doing different versions of the Romeo Zero. They had like the Pro and the Romeo Zero X or something like that. So they started doing a little bit more with it. But I don't think it was ever actually needed for them to come out with that. And I don't think it's needed for Glock to try to come out with an optic. I think all the other manufacturers at this point have that under wraps. Like I think we're good. I know that they work with an Acro. I think Aimpoint Acro is what they have kind of partnered with for coming out with something pre-attached to their slides, which is apparently a really good red dot. So that's a good thing that they did that, and they knew, hey, we're not red dot people, we are gun people, we make guns. Let's get somebody that are red dot people to make red dot, and we can put the two together. And there's nothing wrong with that. But they were late to the game with everything, and there are so many other options that weren't late to the game. Now at this point, I mean, most of these manufacturers, like, I'm talking about the big ones. I'm not saying your Taurus GX4 is better than your Glock 45 MOS fully decked out, and just throw the 45 MOS in the trash can and run your Taurus GX4 XL because it has a Toro model. I'm not saying that, but the Springfields and like the Echelon, a lot of people liking that Echelon. And Canik, I know a lot of people are hating on Canik. I know like Trench Grenade made a video about Canik recently. It was like, nobody runs a Canik. I know a few people that run a Canik. I don't know enough about Canik to say yay or nay, but I know my buddy, he's had his for a few years now, and he's never had a failure with it. So I don't know where that would have been an issue. He said, like, Caniks, apparently they're good feeling trigger. Now, he was talking about self-defense. He's not talking about, I gave the wave to the moped. Gave the wave to the moped. And I appreciate you guys watching. I know this is a firearms channel, but motorcycles are a big part of my life and a big passion of mine. And if you guys are accepting of this, that's cool, but I don't want this channel to become a motovlog channel, because I think that's where I messed up. I never got strikes before on my old channel, and then I started doing a little bit more motorcycle content in there, and I think some people that were anti-gun found my channel like the motorcycle content. I started making gun content, and they were like, oh, no, 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 and they started reporting it, and I think that's what really destroyed my last channel. So I've been trying to keep them separated, but someone brought up, they were like, man, they brought up headshot mixing both, and so I was like, you know what, I can make subject videos where I'm riding and talk about things, and I'll do overlays and all that stuff, but I'm not going to just do a motorcycle only, like, hey guys, watch me ride to the mountains, and nothing related to firearms. It's going to have to be gun content topic all the way, because that's what this channel is, and I'm wanting to keep that clear, defined area between the channels because of what happened last time, because that was a big hit for me. You know, I had that channel, yes, the gun content was only 6 to 7 years old, but that channel I had been working on for 9 years, and so the fact that it's about to get deleted from strikes, you know, that did hit hard. That did bother me. And it is what it is. But a really good friend of mine, that he doesn't get firearms. I I think personally, for one, I think he's not comfortable with them. Well, I know he's not comfortable with them, but I think he assumes that he might do something bad with it if he had it, and I think that's why he doesn't get firearms. And that's okay. I mean, if you're not comfortable with it, I would never say force it onto somebody that's just not comfortable. That's not good. No one should ever do anything they're not comfortable with. Well, I say that, but there's certain things you got to do even if you're not comfortable. But unfortunately, and I'm not going to give any details that'll give away who he is for those that are, know me pretty good. But his neighbors were really bad alcoholics, and I'm not saying that this is a problem with just people that are alcoholics. Like, unfortunately, that was just the situation that created this whole mess. And he was attacked by them, and these are people that he's lived beside for a while, and they were really drunk, and I don't know what led to it. I didn't get that kind of granular detail about it, but he was stabbed multiple times. He was stabbed in his hand, and he's a musician by trade, a teacher and a musician, and the doctor's telling him that he might not get movement in his hand again, and that's going to potentially kill his career. And that's sad, man. That's real sad. But this is why, again, this is the second time somebody I knew. First time, someone reached out to me. I was with my wife at one of her work events, and someone was like, hey, somebody broke into my house the other day. Oh my God, I got something in my eye. Oh, Jesus. And I can't get it open. All right. And he was like, can you install some cameras? And I was like, yeah, for sure, man. But cameras won't stop them if they come back. You got a gun, right? He was like, oh, yeah. I'm good, man. Turns out dude's a liar. He had no gun. Which, don't lie to me. I don't care. You're not impressing me. That doesn't... I was asking for your safety, because a camera, you will get a visual, but before a camera does anything, even if you've got monitoring, a lot of times they're going to get in and out before the police get there. Don't lie to me to impress me. I'm asking for your safety. Do you have a firearm? And he was like, yeah, and he didn't. Well, they showed back up 2 days after I installed those cameras, and he decided to go outside and try to stop them. He wanted to talk them down, I guess, is the way it was told to me. I was not there. I did not see it. I did not see the footage. I know nothing about it, other than he went out there to try to stop them. He ended up taking one to the stomach, was dead before the ambulance got there. So I made a video. That's what first started me making firearm videos about why you need a gun. And then now, a really good friend of mine, a friend that I care about a lot, that I tried to get him a little bit, like, ease up on guns. I'd be like, I'd unload one and I'd hand it to him and be like, hey man, here, check this out. And he'd kind of like, two finger it, like one of these, like, what do I do with this? And I'd be like, bro, just, yeah, look at it. It's pretty cool, huh? And he's like, oh, yeah, sure. But he just wouldn't get comfortable with it. And unfortunately, I mean, and at the same time, maybe it's a blessing. He didn't die. The person got arrested. So, but he did. He lost his passion, at least potentially. We don't know for sure. And it's like, crisis could have been avoided simply by the neighbor knowing that he keeps firearms. I don't know the situation to that level of detail. It just sucks. And it really sucks when it happens to a close friend of yours, especially knowing that, like, I moved away and I used to live there, like, right next to him. And I potentially could have stopped it. I potentially, just my presence, not that I'm like some sort of badass. I'm not saying that by any means, but just, maybe feeling like they're outnumbered or something, maybe, I don't know. I really hate it. And that's why I'm just a big advocate. I'm not saying you've got to like guns. In the perfect world, they would have never been necessary. In the perfect world, we wouldn't have needed them. But there's so many in circulation, there's just no way around it. There's no way. You know, your safety doesn't have to always be at the risk. Like, you know, you can control your own fate in a lot of situations if you protect yourself in a way that, like, you know, you keep yourself armed. Thank God the clip on the O-Clip Pro is good. It's been on my side this whole ride. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video because now this is twice. 2 people that I've known. The first one I didn't know very well, but I literally got involved with that guy's life over the fact that he should have had a firearm. And then the situation really occurred. That's what prompted me to make my first video. And now a really good friend of mine. And I understand I couldn't have done anything. I did everything I could to try to get him more comfortable with firearms. And he's just not having it. And he's not okay with that. And that's okay too. Like, it sucks. It sucks when things like that happen to those, especially those that don't deserve it. I'm not saying that anybody deserves to get stabbed. But like, someone that's genuinely a good person, that genuinely would do stuff for others, even if you don't do something for him. And then that level of evil just happened to him. God, I need to give myself a haircut. My hair is over my left eye, and it's not an enjoyable time. I appreciate you guys watching. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I got a lot of content coming. This is not the type of content that I make. I make firearm reviews and range time reviews and accessory reviews and sit downs and discussions. And someone said they'd like to see more bike content, that bikes and firearms go together. However, I can't do bike only content because the last time I did that, people that did not like firearms ended up subscribing to the channel, and I think that is what got me striked out, is they started seeing firearm content pop on their feed and they were like, ew, I don't want this, and not realizing, hey, you're destroying someone's 10 years of hard work by giving it strikes. But they did, and I don't even think it was meant to be like that. It was just like, hey, I don't want this content on here. Well, I don't know, if you report it, you're kind of, I don't know, you're doing it on purpose, you know. And I'm not even positive that's what it was. But I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you on the next one.